Okay, so week 3, Seahawks against the Titans. This is going to be an interesting game. So last week, the Seahawks got rather lucky, I'd say. Sorry, my computer's making noises at me. Good thing they were playing the 49ers, and the 49ers don't have some great offense, so our defense was able to hold them. After the first 2 weeks of the season so far, I really like what I have seen from Seattle's defense. All right, I especially like them against Green Bay. I think they did a great job with Aaron Rodgers, and the offense just wasn't able to step up. Now, with that being said, the first 2 weeks of the season, the Seahawks offense hasn't really done much. And Pete Carroll in his press conference did talk about how there's going to be some changes into the offense. Now, I'm not sure. I mean, he's not saying exactly what, which is a good idea, I guess. You don't want to just like let your opponent know what exactly you're going to do. But I would suggest that a lot more no huddle offense going there. The run game, I really like Carson, right? And from what I've seen from ESPN, Eddie Lacy isn't active this week against the Titans as well. And ESPN's even giving the Titans a 59% chance of winning, and I can't really blame them. The Seahawks aren't that great on the road. And the Seahawks offense has looked not very good at all the first 2 games yet. And I know it's just the first 2 games, but I mean, you can't really have that mentality of, oh, it's just the first 2 games. I mean, you should play every game like it I don't know. You should. I'm going to say this about the game right now. I have no worries about the Seahawks defense. The Seahawks defense is playing amazing so far, and I think they'll continue to play amazing all year as long as everybody's able to stay healthy. And I think Richard Sherman's playing again this week. I don't think his hamstring is that big of a deal. What I will say going into this game is if the Seahawks offense plays as poorly as they've been playing the first 2 games of the season, they will not win this game. The Titans have a pretty good offense, all right? I mean, got Derrick Henry, you got Delaney Walker, you got Marcus Mariota, who's a really good quarterback. I mean, a lot of people talk about Jameis Winston, and as much as I like Jameis Winston, I think Marcus Mariota is right up there with Jameis Winston. And I think the Titans probably will win the AFC South this year. The Titans are not a bad team. And so they're probably going to put, I would say, anywhere from 20 to 24 points on the board. Possible that the Seahawks defense can hold them to 17. It's definitely possible. But if the Seahawks offense can't score at least 3 touchdowns, get a few field goals maybe, the Seahawks will lose this game. The Seahawks defense keeps doing their job, and the Seahawks offense keeps waiting for the last minute to really do anything. And that's one thing I've never understood. Basically, the last 6 years with the Seahawks, maybe even 7. I'll even talk about the 2011 season when Tavares Jackson was the starting quarterback. It seems like the Seahawks play really, really conservatively, and they're just trying to run down the clock, and they're blah, blah, blah. And then it's not until it's panic time that they actually do something. And it's like, whenever they're getting the offense into high gear during panic time to march down the field, why don't they do that the entire game? So we see that the Seahawks are able to do that. It's just like, it's almost like they don't try on every drive. And I don't want to say it's not tried, but it's like the play calling is just so not there, it almost seems like. Now, last game, granted, it wasn't just the offensive line's fault. Last game, receivers dropping passes. Russell Wilson was overthrowing. He was underthrowing. And while some of that has to do with the offensive line, everyone needs to play better. The receivers, Russell Wilson, the offensive line. And I don't think the offensive line is going to be much better in this game, which means this offense is really going to have to figure some things out. Because I'm not even sure if the rest of the season the offensive line is really going to do much unless the Seahawks make some trade. I've even heard some people talk about trading Jimmy Graham for an offensive lineman. It would make sense just because of how great Jimmy Graham is and how bad we are actually using the dude. Like, dude's, what is he, like 6'6", 6'7"? Throw the ball to him, he'll catch it. I know sometimes he drops the balls, but we use him in these pass block and run blocking situations. I feel like Luke Wilson would be better for the blocking situation. This is what's happening. I talked about this in my 49ers video. You're using a running back and you're using Jimmy Graham back there to block as well because the offensive line is so inept, right? So right off the bat, you're taking two of your weapons to pass to off the field because your running back and your tight end are busy blocking for you. So now you got less people to throw to now. I feel like Luke Wilson is a better blocking tight end. So I feel like if you're gonna have a tight end blocking, you should probably have Luke Wilson out there than have a 2 tight end set and have Jimmy Graham out there to go out for a pass or something. But the whole no huddle offense, the Seahawks have been doing well with that, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them really go for that in this game. They might have to. After the first 2, the Seahawks, if the Seahawks lose this game, and if they lose it in a way where their offense was bad, not say they lose it, and even though their offense played great and their defense played great, it's just that the Titans outplayed them. It's whatever, it's fine. The Seahawks will be fine. to continue the season. But if the Seahawks lose this game and the offense is just as bad as it's been the first few games of the season, the Seahawks need to enter panic mode. And yes, I'm saying panic mode because if they lose this game and the offense is still as bad, so the first 3 games of the season you have a 1-2 record, and you don't have a 1-2 record by just like, and your 1-2 record isn't because teams have really been outplaying you. It's that your defense has been holding other teams down and your offense hasn't been scoring. That's panic mode time. Because like I said in my last video, if the Seahawks defense does its job and the offense doesn't do its job, you will not win games. You will not. The defense isn't going to shut out teams all the time. The defense isn't always going to hold a team to 10 points and under or 20 points and under. All right, that's just not going to happen. So to be realistic about this, the Seahawks offense really needs to get something going this week. Really needs to get something going this week. I like what I've seen out of Carson. I really think Carson, compared to what I've seen from Rawls, Rawls didn't get that many carries last Sunday, and what I saw of it at least the first game, I think Carson's the guy. For right now, I mean, unless late in the season someone else emerges, but I really like what Carson's been doing. He's been obviously making the most of the opportunity he's been given. So who will win this game? It's basically, and I know this is kind of a cop-out here because I'm not going to just give you who I think is going to win this game. And the reason for that is it all depends what Seahawks offense shows up. If the Seahawks get their stuff together and actually can get some drives going and get more than 1 touchdown and get a few field goals on the board, the Seahawks will probably win this game because the Seahawks defense will probably hold the Titans to, I don't think the Titans score any more than 24. I could see anywhere from 20 to 24, maybe even 17 the Seahawks defense can hold them to. But I think anywhere in between the 20 to 24 point range. So as long as the Seahawks can get at least 3 touchdowns, field goal, 2 field goals, maybe 4 touchdowns, as long as they can, put some points up on the board. All right, just score more than 21 points. They'll have a chance to win this game, and they will win this game. But it's all about it's really just about what Seahawks offense shows up this weekend. And based on the first 2 games of the season, I don't know what to expect because I thought that the first game would have lit a fire under their ass. And as well as they played well in the first quarter against the 49ers, but from the second quarter all the way until basically the end of all the way until the end of the fourth quarter. I mean, I don't know, man. Everyone needs to get better. I think the play calling is also disastrous, to be honest with you. I don't know. It just makes me mad to know how great Jimmy Graham is and how poorly the Seahawks utilize him. Like, it really makes me mad. It actually makes me just like, I feel like the Seahawks need to move on from him and just let him go someplace where he's going to be used. Because I kind of feel bad for the dude. Because, like, he's here in Seattle, and I'm sure he loves the team and everything, but he just does not. I don't know, dude. It's like he has some invisible cloak over him or something. Anyway, as far as this game goes, it's really about what Seahawks offense shows up. If the Seahawks offense plays the first 2 like they did the first 2 games, the Seahawks lose the game. They will. Unless the defense can really step up and force a bunch of turnovers, if the offense is still playing as poorly as they've been playing, they lose. If they step up and we see some improvements, I can see them winning the game. It's gonna be a close game though. Like I said, the Titans are not a bad team. A lot of people keep talking about the Texans the Colts although the Colts don't even have Andrew Luck. I think as long as the Colts don't have Andrew Luck, I don't think the Colts are gonna win a game. And people even are talking about the Jaguars. And while I like all 3 of those teams, a lot of people aren't talking about the Titans. And I think they should. And the Titans, they're going to be coming out to win this game. They're going to want to make a statement. So this is going to be a game that the Titans are really going to want to win. This is obviously a game that the Seahawks are really going to want to win. And the advantage might go a little bit to Tennessee because they're playing at home. But ultimately, like I said, it depends what Seahawks offense shows up. It really does. The defense always travels. So I'm hoping that after this Sunday, the Seahawks will have a 2-1 record. Because if not, it might be panic time. Depending on how poor the offense plays, like I said, it might be panic time. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know what you think about the first 2 games the Seahawks have played with their offense, and let me know what you guys think the Seahawks are going to do in this game. I really hope they can pull it out. I really do. It's really frustrating to see all the talent they have on offense and just how they just find ways not to utilize it. It's frustrating as a fan to watch. Anyway, that'll conclude the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and go Hawks.